Ladies and gentlemen, lords and ladies, please welcome back your first Stronghold Heralds, Anthony and Blair.
Good morning. Good morning. How about that team social last night? Was that a kick or what? Thank you, thank you, thank you. Space and Rocket Center, that was Dodge awesome. You hot?
All right. No,
Well, we all want to hear thank you for your continued professionalism at this event. I can say that myself and a lot of other volunteers are inspired by all the teamwork, the creativity, the determination, just the grit to get this done. It's a long day for everybody, and we're really excited to see what's going to happen today. There's a lot of people that, however, can't be here to see this, and that's why this is being live streamed on the internet through the First in Alabama website. So make sure you tell people to check it out there, and also on social media, use the hashtag Rocket City Regional. We will be periodically putting your tweets up on the big screen.
So play yesterday was pretty hot. We've got some great teams here. Parts are left on the field. We see that. More will be left on the field today. I can promise you that. One thing we want to remind teams about is you got a voucher for $500 in your kit of parts. Make sure you use that because that's free money. Those parts are there. It's free for you. Those vouchers will expire at the end of the season, so make sure you use up all the money on your vouchers as well. Our first speaker is a guy who knows a lot about a kit of parts because he's in charge of the entire technical side of, well, our little space program. He's in charge of keeping it all together, making sure it's delivered on time. Please welcome, from the Marshall Space Flight Center, the Assistant Director of Technical, Paul McConaughey. Paul.
Hey, thank you, Blair. So good morning, folks. Yeah, I'm a geek, so I got a piece of paper. I was trained as a scientist and engineer, so consequently not a public speaker, so I will have some notes here. So welcome to the Rocket City Regional First Competition here. We're certainly proud to have the first event here in Huntsville. Hopefully it'll be the first to come for many years. As you just heard, I'm Paul McConaughey, Associate Director of Technical at Marshall Space Flight Center. So what I do is a lot like what you do as a robotics engineer. I'm responsible to make sure that the programs and projects at Marshall are technically sound, both with respect to engineering and safety, and just as importantly, that they're delivered on time and within budget. That's pretty exciting, especially when we're in the middle of developing the Space Launch System. You can see a balloon of that over there. In reality, it's a lot more than balloons. It's real hardware that's in manufacturing. We received the requirements back for that from the Center Authorization back in 2010. We went through some concept designs, kind of iteration of what concepts support those requirements. We went through preliminary design, certified concept design, critical design review, and now we're in the process of manufacturing, building, and integrating the vehicle. You'll see it launch in about 2 years. Hopefully you'll all be around for that. I think it'll be a very exciting time. The good news about that vehicle, it is basically our freight train or semi-truck to Mars. It will put about 26 metric tons into deep space. That's the equivalent of 14 F-100 pickup trucks. You kind of need that much mass to get to Mars or to the cislunar environments that we're going to. On top of that, we'll have the Orion space capsule. We're working on some of that at Marshall. We have a lot of support for that here in Huntsville. That is a space capsule that carry 4 crew for 21 days into deep space. With an augmentation module, we're putting people out there for 2 months. So those are really game-changing missions for the agency, and it's exciting to be a part of that here at Marshall. So that's all design, development. We're in the process of building those and flying those in a couple of years. We're also operating an International Space Station and supporting payloads and 24/7 operations out of Marshall. There we're supporting scientists across all the world who go through a scientific concept. They then develop a payload with the engineers. The payloads go through concept design, build, test, and finally qualification for that payload. And with those payloads, we actually bag them up, send them down to the launch vehicle, launch them and operate them. So they're operated on space both robotically or autonomously from the ground, or we're dealing with the crew in space. So we're going end-to-end concept to design to operations with the work here at Marshall and NASA. Okay, so what you see there is very much a similar process of what you've done here. First, dumps on you their requirements, right? They send you the big, thick package of requirements. You all run off for 6 weeks, do your thing. You work your trade studies, the concept design, finally go through the design, the build, the test, and I'll bet you go through redesign, rebuild, and retest, much like we do. That is the engineering process that we all work to as we're delivering products. So when you all went through this, you also probably had a business manager or a business case around that. You had to work to a budget. You had to build the advocacy to get the sponsors. And just as importantly, in fact, probably the most important thing, you worked as a team and developed the interpersonal skills and the social skills to how to partner and work as a team to deliver a product on time and within budget. That is exactly what we do within NASA and the aerospace community at large. And that's our process, exactly what you went through in robotics here. So in this process, hopefully you work with some professional engineers. I don't know if you were impressed or not. Maybe, maybe not, depends on the engineer, but guarantee there's something to learn from them. And hopefully you get some scholarships out of this. I know FIRST provides scholarships, but I guarantee as you go through your college career, a FIRST activity on your resume will certainly be a positive, and certainly the experience itself will prepare you for what you're going to do in college, beyond the courses, and certainly with respect to working with industry or the government in the aerospace or engineering community. So when we look at y'all folks, the kids, not the kids, oh God, sorry, young adults, we see a lot of ourselves because a lot of us senior engineers here were where you were 20 years ago. You are the future, so as we fly SLS to Mars and Orion to Mars, you'll be flying it. We're just preparing the way for you to do that. If you don't do that, you'll be working on autonomous big cars, drones, next generation thinking machine, efficient power and energy, and you'll certainly be a part of the technical core to move this country forward in the next decade and century. So with that, we're all proud of you. So we're all proud of you for what you've done, your accomplishment. The fact that you're here, I won't say you're all winners because you're here, because some of you won't win today, and that's okay. But know that, lost my notes here. When you have this experience, please take some time to enjoy it and realize that this is a gateway and representative of the kind of work that you can do in the technical community for the rest of your career. So with that, whenever we're going to have a human spaceflight launch at NASA, we always have a common saying, and I'll give it to you all: good lucks and Godspeed, FIRST Robotics.
All right, looks like this mic is working now. See, we have the first experience even as MC sometimes. Things don't always work the first time, but we figure it out. So with that, I'd like to bring up our next speaker. His name is Don Dukenmere, and he is the Huntsville Convention and Visitors Bureau.
Good morning. Good morning. They told me to come this morning and give a welcome, and I'm not going to give a welcome. It's going to be my responsibility to pump you up. Who's having a great time in Huntsville? That's what I want to hear. We are so glad that you're here and that you have been here this week. We hope you had a great time in the Space and Rocket Center last night and that you're enjoying everything. I want to wish you the best of luck today because I came to see some robots be challenged this morning, and I want to see who's the best. So if you're going to win today, make some noise. Good deal. I want to wish all teams good luck today, and we'll see you back here in Huntsville hopefully next year. Good luck, everybody.
Thanks, Duke. And now we're going to mix things up a little bit, and we're actually going to present an award. So I would like to call out onto the field the Regional Planning Committee and our Regional Director, Dana Hobbs. Yeah, show them some love. So this award is the Volunteer of the Year Award. It celebrates the dedication and service of truly outstanding volunteers. The phenomenal success of the FIRST robotics competition is a reflection of our commitment and enthusiasm displayed by our volunteers. We are truly humbled by the passion and the commitment of our volunteers. Now, this person was instrumental in bringing this regional to Huntsville. His passion for FIRST is contagious, and his energy for the teams is electric. From organizing projects, to bringing on major funders, to being a constant force propelling the event forward at every level, this person has helped to engineer a great event. He wears many hats as an alumnus, a mentor, a sponsor, a regional planning committee member, and not to mention coordinating one great team social for all of you. We would have given this out yesterday, but he was actually there preparing for your arrival last night. That's why it's moved to this morning. So congratulations go to Evan Helmead. All right, thank you, committee. Now, along with that volunteer of the year, there are many other volunteers here. Give it up one more time for our judges, all volunteers. Our referees, all volunteers.
Another important person, let's hear it for our lead robot inspector, Ed Sparks. Come on, give us a walk across, Ed. All right, and just a reminder today that all teams must be reweighed after their final qualification match to be eligible to play for the playoff tournament.
All right,
a round of applause for these folks right here.
Along with our robot inspectors, our CSIs, there's some folks who never get to see any of the matches here on the field at all. Those are our machine shop folks. So our NASA machine shop guys are right back here. Bob Kohler, Brad Andres, Scott Andrews, Ian Bryant, Katie Wallace, and Jacob Andrer.
I mean, the truth is here at First, there are a lot of volunteers all over the place. If you look around this room, you'll see volunteers here on the field, on the sidelines here, and the pit over that way. I mean, there's inspectors, refs, judges, the field stewards, and First really wouldn't be possible without the help of the volunteers here. The volunteers act as role models, and as much as we get inspiration from the students here, everyone who participates in First is trying to be a good role model for the students that also participate. You know, we are really here we are committed to the experience and making sure that we make the students shine so that the world sees really what the students here at First have to offer. There's all the scholarships that the colleges are going to give out, and just, you know, with your future careers and being able to put this experience not only on your resume, but when you talk to people and you explain what your abilities are and the experiences you've had, it really comes back to First, and the volunteers here really go a long way to make sure that experience is as great as it can be. So let's have a big round of applause for all the volunteers here at First.
And there's one group of volunteers, they've been through First. They've been in the trenches. They've come from the team. So we want to recognize the First alumni in the house. So please stand up if you are a past participant of an FRC team. Thank you, thank you. Thanks for all you do, staying involved, staying connected, and just one last recognition, and that is to the high school seniors. Stand up. Yeah, baby. So good luck in your future. Stay involved. You know, maybe you can give back a little bit of what you received over the past few years. And today, on this field, woo, it's going to get hot. Here's the schedule. We will finish 25 qualification matches this morning. We will then go right into alliance selection. Then we'll take our lunch break. And then the playoffs will start this afternoon. So I know you're doing the scouting. Be prepared for alliance selection. We'll go into that immediately after we finish the qualification matches. We'll start assembling team representatives, team captains. We're at one end of this field, probably that end of the field. Okay, so we go into that. But we can't do anything until we have our anthems.
That's true. So if everyone could please rise for the national anthem of the United States, performed by Whitney Dayton of the U.S. Army, with colors presented by the Huntsville Police Honor Guard.
say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rocket's red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave?
All right, Bama, let's bring this one home. You ready? We refueled the rocket and is ready for launch. Let's launch this baby. Get the robots on the field.